Anyone out there want to still support Donald Trump? Get the fuck out of America. You're just a useful idiot to the media, to the war machine, the guys that produce and sell the weapons, that sell the bombs. Those are the people, once again, that directly benefit from regime change and foreign intervention. There is no spinning this one. You all were told by Donald Trump that he wasn't going to start any new wars, that he wasn't going to start any new wars, that if you elect Kamala over him, you have World War III. Donald Trump has always been sympathetic to Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel. What Israel wants to do is, of course, they don't want to sacrifice Israeli lives. They would rather have America fight their wars for them. That's what they want to do. They want an Israeli friendly regime in Iran. It's regime change. These people commit genocide in Israel. They're cutting off of humanitarian aid. They're forcing the Palestinians to starve on purpose so they could wipe out Palestinians from the earth. And you know the biblical prophecy in the Bible, what it talks about is those who say are Jewish but are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. What they are talking about is the fact that the ultra conservative unorthodox Judaism believes that they don't believe in a man made state of Israel. What they believe is the Messiah is the one who's supposed to deliver the native homeland back to the Jews. So when they say those who say they are Jewish are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan, then that is what they're referring to. They're referring to the fake Eastern European Ashkenazi Jews. They are not the Semitic Jews. The Semitic Jews are you can mistaken for being Palestinian. I mean, they are very dark in complexion out because of where their climate is at, the Middle East. They've lived in peace for centuries in that land of Palestine between the Christians and the Jews and the Arabs, and they don't want to blow each other off the earth, not until Israel was created, because they wanted to wipe them out. They kicked them out of their homes. Now it's okay. 50% Palestine is controlled by Israel. Then it's down to what control of what percentage of Israel today is Palestinian territory? Very, very little. And the second component to the those who say they are Jews but are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan, is the Zionist bankers, is the Zionist Jew bankers that wage the wars. And what we're referring to mostly throughout the centuries is the Rothschild family. They have financed both sides to every major conflict. The Balfour Declaration issued from Great Britain to Rothschild says, we're going to guarantee a homeland for the Jews. Basically, what happened was Adolf Hitler in the Holocaust, a very real event, but they didn't have the justification to create Israel not until after the Holocaust happened. He was very much bankrolled by the Zionists. So you got to understand, these are the people that run the show. They control Donald Trump. They control both parties. Donald Trump is, in fact, Israel first. You see, he ain't about improving education and healthcare and all these things, or improving the economy and slowing down inflation. He doesn't care. He simply does not care. He is all about helping Israel. He is all about showing power. What's the number one way you can display power? Is by engaging in warfare. Netanyahu's a hardcore right-wing regime. Even Israelis don't like him, you see. But he wants war. He lied about Saddam having nukes. Over 30 years, he's been saying that Iran has a nuke. They're 2 weeks away from launching a nuke. He's been saying this for over 30 years. It's because he wants regime change in Iran. Why did Donald Trump say the other day that we want regime change in Iran? It was never about nuclear weapons. U.S. intelligence in March, Tulsi Gabbard, she testified Iran is nowhere near close to developing a nuke. This is regime change again in Iran. This already happened before in Iran in 1953. As a matter of fact, they in Iran had a democratically elected government. But what did we want to do? We wanted to control their oil. And so the U.S. and Great Britain, they came in, they installed a puppet, and they controlled Iran's oil. And what emerged from that intervention was, in fact, a very, very worse Iranian regime. Now they have the propaganda needed, an even worse Iranian regime that could come out of this as a result of the bombings. Now they can say America's the aggressor. America's the aggressor. So, these older Iranians, that have lived through the Iranian Revolution of 1979, the oppressive life under a Western puppet Shah of Iran. Now they have had this happen to them right now. They've been under attack from a foreign government. And mind you, Iran was never a threat to U.S. national security. They're not even close to developing a nuclear weapon. Tulsi Gabbard said so. She changed her tune literally a day before the bombings because it gave their leader the justification that, they said they have nukes over there. And it's about making him look like an authoritarian straw man, like, my intelligence was wrong and I came in and I took out all the nukes. There was never any nukes over there in the first place. Even UN inspections over there, they say they can't definitively prove that Iran was developing nuclear weapons. This is Iraq all over again. They're lying again. It's the same page out of that playbook. Saddam has weapons of mass destruction. He has WMDs. He has weapons of mass destruction. Fancy word for nuclear weapons. Fancy phrase for nuclear weapons. They didn't find any in Iraq, but they needed a pretext to go to Iraq. Lying about the WMDs was the pretext for Bush to go to Iraq. Iraqis never bombed New York City with the controlled demolition devices in the Twin Towers. 15 out of the 19 hijackers were Saudi Arabian. Iraq and Afghanistan, no Iraqis, no Afghanis attacked America on 9/11. Why didn't we bomb Saudi Arabia? You see, this is all about war profiteering. The money you borrow from the banks and they charge at interest. This helps the central bankers. This helps the war industry. Donald Trump is just a puppet of the same very people that were responsible for the disaster that led to the Great Recession. It's the same thing. America's sick and tired of the wars. Some Donald Trump maggot codists are going to wake up. They're going to realize that, hey, he doesn't give a fuck. He just wanted my vote. But he's all about the war machine now. He's all about serving the Jews and Netanyahu first before serving America. He's doing nothing to concretely improve our day-to-day life. In the other side of MAGA is the useful, retarded, dumb motherfuckers. Dumb motherfuckers falling for the propaganda yet again. Yeah! We bombed Iran! Yeah! Donald Trump! Yeah! We bombed Iran! We took out those nukes! Yeah! War! Trump! War! Yeah! Idiot! Useful idiots. You all were saying, oh, Joe Biden's going to start a war. Come on, it's going to start World War III. Who started World War III? Donald Trump did. It was Donald Trump. Anti-war my fucking ass. He's a warmonger. He's a big fat warmonger like George Bush. What's the difference between George Bush and Donald Trump? Zero. They're now both going to engage America in a very expensive war that's going to bankrupt America even further. Bush bankrupted America. How about that? You can literally have a whole fucking country under your fingertips, and they're like coerced to fight all of your wars for you. We need to get the hell out. Let these countries bomb themselves down the fucking ground. Let Iran and Israel bomb themselves the hell to the ground. Seriously. He cares more about starting a war than helping Americans with day-to-day life. Y'all got played, MAGA. Y'all got played. But in Project 2025, they say at any time they can institute the draft. In Project 2025. So if you're a young Donald Trump supporter, Donald, bro, Donald Trump, that's a bro, yeah. Better hope he doesn't institute draft at any time. Because he doesn't give a damn about you whatsoever. You're cannon fodder for Israel and the Zionist Jews. They are the chosen people of God. They are based off of their beliefs. They are very supremacist in their beliefs. They believe that the Arabs, the brown people in that region are undesirables. They're savages, but that's pretty savage to leave kids out on the West Bank starving and cutting off aid to them and bombing schools and bombing hospitals. International court's going to do nothing to bring Israel to justice. It's because Zionist Jews run the show. AIPAC runs the U.S. Congress. Now, here's to say, not all Jews are bad. That's not what we need to get out of this. Many Jews believe that only the Messiah should come back to deliver Israel, the homeland, back to them. And they are ultra-Orthodox Jews. They are very much against Israel. They're the ultra-conservative, ultra-Orthodox Jews. They only believe that the Messiah should come back to deliver the homeland. And there are many Jews, too, by the way, who just want to live in peace with Palestinians, but the Zionist, hardcore, right-wing, Jewish supremacist government of Netanyahu wants to exterminate the Palestinians. They want to exterminate Palestine. That's genocide. cutting off relief for Palestine, that's genocide. Denying UN relief, that's genocide. If that happened to them, they would be saying that's genocide too. Donald Trump don't care because he's a racist. Donald Trump don't care because his daughter married into the Jewish Kushner family. That's why they're Israel first. The Jews have ran Donald Trump. The Zionist Jews have run Donald Trump ever since 2016, ever since he ran, because he's been a puppet for years. Rothschilds bailed out Donald Trump's failed projects of the Taj Mahal casino. The Zionist Jews of the Rothschilds, the Admiral Rothschild and Sons, Wilbur Ross, then the Commerce Secretary, he bailed out Donald Trump. Congrats, bad guy. This is what you voted for. You voted for war. You voted for return back to George Bush in the war on terror. This is what you voted for. You voted to launch more bombs. You voted to serve Israel to fight their own wars over there. You all got played. He's fucking up the economy. He's engaged in America in another useless, wasteless war. Fuck Israel, man. Fuck Israel. They're all about causing problems over there. They're all about causing problems. They kick these people out of their homes. It's been a whole fucked up situation for years. Ever since Israel was created. Are we going to see a World War III with the 48th president of the United States? Israel established in 48? Is the war going to come with the 48th president of the United States? That's what I'd like to know. 48th president, Israel established year 48? What could happen? Assassination, early death? We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I'm not surprised by all of this, but the maggots out there, they sure as hell got played by this administration. They got played by the administration. Play them all. We're lying again. This is just like Iraq. They're lying again. Now the Middle East is going to hate us even more. Just as we're withdrawing troops from Iraq, we'll withdraw from Afghanistan, America causing shit again. Osama bin Laden in his fatwa said, because you occupied the Holy Lands, you are going to get attacked. So in these sacred holy sites of Saudi Arabia, the Americans they had military bases in sacred religious areas of Saudi Arabia. That's why Osama bin Laden attacked us in the first place, because we are having these military bases in sacred sites in Saudi Arabia. Now, this next fatwa is not going to be public whatsoever. There are already fatwas issued to destroy and exterminate Donald Trump in America and the Zionist Jews. This bombing of Iran does not make America safer. In fact, with the 4th of July coming up in these so-called sleeper cells, America is more prone to having another 9/11 happen. It could happen. Iran's going to want to get back at America in a very big way. The very first test is the 4th of July. Are they going to have sleeper cells? And is there going to be a terrorist attack on the 4th of July? That's the real question.